2025 NFL Draft has completed. And so for this video, we're going to just recap all of the picks really quickly, and then I'm going to give my individual grades for each player, and then my overall grade for the entire 2025 draft class. Tomorrow, we're going to give you a look at the undrafted free agency class. So a couple names have already come in, and we're going to break it down in tomorrow's video, so be sure to subscribe. But really quick, to recap all of the selections that the New Orleans Saints made, they had 9 total picks, and they made 9 total selections. For the record, I'm really happy that the Saints did not trade away any future assets. I'm personally okay that they didn't make any trades whatsoever. I think the Saints needed to get 9 players this year, and they did that, and I'm very happy. Kelvin Banks in round 1, Tyler Shough, a name that definitely ruffles some feathers. Vernon Bryant, a nice defensive tackle that's a big-time run stopper. Jonas Sanker, a DB that can bring the boom. He is a hit stick. He is a really nice, versatile player. And then one of my favorite picks of the draft, Danny Stutsman, and then Quincy Riley and Devin Neil. This little run right here was absolutely electric for the New Orleans Saints, and then they had 2 selections in the 7th round. The first one being, the first one was the tight end out of UCLA, and the second one being an edge rusher as well. So when it comes to the New Orleans Saints, Malik Matavau and Fidel Diggs are the last 2 picks for the New Orleans Saints at 248 and 254. So I want to hear from you, Saints fans. Grade the draft class in the comments section. A, B, C, D, or F. We just ran through all of them. 9 players. A lot of positions in need were filled, but no wide receivers. That's still a need the Saints need to address in free agency or in undrafted free agency. But get down in the comments. A, B, C, D, or F. I'm going to give you my grade here momentarily. Now, the Kelvin Banks Jr. grade, I gave it a B. And it's because I continue to stay in the camp that I really wanted some offensive playmakers. I get the importance of building in the trenches. Mickey Loomis and Kellen Moore believe in building from the inside out. And so for that reason, I love this selection. He's a really good football player. He's going to be a nice offensive lineman that I personally have a lot of faith in and I think can be a contributor and be a high-profile offensive lineman for the foreseeable future. That all being said, I would have liked to go with a weapon of sorts for the offense. The Saints definitely have a need there. However, Kelvin Banks, for me, I'm giving it a B grade. I like the selection. I didn't love it. But I love the O-lineman. I just would have rather gone a different position here. That all being said, one of the top offensive linemen in this draft class, a top 20 prospect according to Tom Downey, our draft expert here at Chat Sports. So I give this grade a B. Tyler Shough, round 2, number 40 overall. I gave it a C grade. And it's a C grade with an asterisk because it's one of those right now, in this moment, today, Saturday, April 26th, 7:13 p.m. after 20-plus hours of live content. I don't love the pick. But when I go back and I look at the highlights and I look at the tape and I look at what other people say about Tyler Shough who aren't just upset fans, I actually kind of start to like the player. You're replacing Derek Carr with a younger Derek Carr. And I do think Kellen Moore deserves the opportunity to handpick his quarterback. And I just don't understand. I don't necessarily agree that should be the handpicked guy. That being said, I get it. I understand it. He has a lot of reps. He's had a lot of adversity. And those are things that Kellen Moore actually views as a strength rather than a weakness for Tyler Shough. So I give this one a C. I really hope I'm wrong, by the way. I would love for Tyler Shough to prove me wrong, shut me the F up and say, dude, JTrizzy Trace, this guy doesn't know anything. I'm about to throw for 5,000 yards this season. That'd be cool. I would be totally happy being wrong for what it's worth. You know what else I'd be happy with? If you guys got started with Chubby's shorts. Chubby shorts are the best clothes in the whole wide world. And April is here, May's around the corner, and you know what that means. The summertime is about to get started. Skies out, thighs out. It's time to let those puppies breathe. Whether you're playing around on the links, whether you're headed out to a beer garden, or you got a nice special date with a certain little lady friend, Chubby's has you covered for all of the good vibes that warm weather brings. And at the end of the day, your wardrobe deserves a springtime upgrade. So to sweeten the deal, for a limited time, Chubby's is giving listeners of Saints Now by Chat Sports 20% off with our exclusive code CHAT. That's code CHAT at chubbyshorts.com. I absolutely love Chubby's products. I've been rocking them since I was in high school. And the fact that they sponsor my show now is a dream come true. Not only are their shorts amazing, the performance polos are awesome. They're just straight up awesome. Like, so comfortable. They're flattering. They look good. They feel good. The patterns are awesome. They're really vibrant colors. And they also have the best shorts in the whole wide world, fellas. I'm somebody who wears a lot of, gym shorts. If you want a little upgrade here, look, by the way. Just gonna call a spade here. Dude looks pretty good in those shorts. You can get these in a 4, 5.5, or 7-inch inseam, and they got a nice little elastic waistband. Super comfortable. They're always gonna look good, but if you're like me and you got some thunder thighs, you're going to look good in these Chubby shorts as well. So whether you're getting dressed for a work day, a workout, or a weekend getaway, Chubby's has you covered. For a limited time, Chubby's is giving our viewers 20% off your order with code CHAT at chubbyshorts.com. That's code CHAT at chubbyshorts.com. Support Saints now and tell them that we sent you. Don't blend in with the crowd and stand out with Chubby's. So Vernon Bryant, he's a run-stopping defensive tackle, really, really big football player. I'm giving this a B. The New Orleans Saints ranked 30th in yards per carry, in rushing yards per game last season. That was a massive weakness of the Saints defense. They addressed it big time this year. This draft got a lot of depth at a lot of key positions. It got a lot of players who can stop the run, and I am okay with that. I like this. And here's what Dane Brugler had to say as well. Vernon Bryant has NFL size and traits to make an impact as a part of a defensive line rotation if he can continue developing his handwork and consistency. His ascending skill set should speak to every scheme. Not much of a pass rusher, but he is a great run stopper, so I view him as a player who can learn from Davon Godchaux and eventually take over as a nose tackle in Brandon Staley's defensive scheme. Fun fact, he also worked and was coached by Bo Davis at Texas, who is now the defensive line coach for the New Orleans Saints. Jonas Sanker. Let's talk about this one. I think this is a little bit of a steal, actually. I was very high on Jonas Sanker, and I'm really happy we landed him. But in all of my mock drafts, I've taken him multiple times. I got him in round 4. So in round 3, I'm giving it a B, not because I don't like the player, but because I don't like the value. I would have rather waited a little bit. But there was a run of defensive backs that took a lot of good players off the board. This is a really nice player as well. Quality prospect. He's a little bit underrated. He can play strong safety. He can play deep. He can play in the nickel. You can line him up anywhere. He is a big, big hitter. He has nice length, a good nose for the ball, a really high motor, and he's a tough guy. And I think when it comes to the New Orleans Saints defense, you just need some dudes. You need some dudes that are going to show up and be absolute dogs. And speaking of dogs, Danny Stutsman, the coldest white boy this side of the Mississippi. He was a selection at 112 overall. This is an A grade. Maybe my favorite draft pick of the 2025 class for the New Orleans Saints. I am so high on Danny Stutsman. Look, this guy was a tackling machine. He was a freak of nature. Over 100 tackles in 2024. Over 100 tackles in 2023. 125 tackles in 2022. He was an All-American this year. He just turned 22 years old. I am a big fan of him. He also has a lot of a lot of special teams ability, and he's a really good run defender with nice instincts, and he's a really good athlete, and the average depth of tackle, 2.2 yards. It's an A grade for me. I thought the linebacker was an underrated and a kind of sneaky need for the Saints, so I'm glad that they addressed it. And I've been high on Danny Stutsman for a while. If you've been watching the show, I've taken him in a couple different mock drafts, and I've talked about him before. I am thrilled about this selection. Quincy Riley, I'm also going to give an A, the cornerback out of Louisville. I thought this was a good selection, and honestly, I like it a lot because the value for me is pretty high. We have him as a 3rd-round grade, and we got him in the 4th. And I'll also say this, when it comes to this player, Quincy Riley, I think can be a nice player that doesn't have a lot of pressure. Isaac Yiadom could be your starting cornerback opposite of Kool-Aid McKinstry, but when you plug in Quincy Riley, you have some more depth there. You have another young player there who is really effective, has nice ball skills, 26 pass breakups in the last 2 years. I believe that's 2nd in all of college football, which is really impressive. He's more comfortable in man coverage. That being said, he was a state champ in track, which is kind of cool if you ask me. 3 interceptions in 2022, 7 in the last 2 years with Middle Tennessee State, 15 total interceptions in 5 years. This guy is a dog. I love him. I'm excited about him, and I can't wait to see him get to work in this new team. Brandon Staley, for what it's worth, I think had a great defensive draft. Devin Neil, steal of the draft. Calling it steal of the draft. This was an exceptional pick. Exceptional value. Really, really, really high on this pick right here. I think Devin Neil is a player that you can get easily excited about as a Saints fan. The Saints definitely have a need at the running back position. Alvin Kamara, although he's coming off the best season of his career as a rusher, he is not getting any younger, and there are serious questions behind Kamara in terms of Kendre Miller, CEH, Jordan Mims. Who's going to take over? Maybe this guy. Devin Neil, 5'11", 213 pounds. He actually weighed in at 219 at his pro day. 1,200 plus yards, almost 6 yards per carry, 16 touchdowns on the ground, 1 touchdown through the air, has receiving ability, has rushing ability. I am a big fan of his. 3 seasons in a row of 1,000 plus yards. He's a quality pass catcher as well. 5 career fumbles, only 1 lost. I'm okay with that. Only one of each of the last 2 years too. So Devin Neil, I'm excited about this. Solid athleticism as well. I think this is great value in round 6. Alrighty, Malik Matavau. He was the tight end out of UCLA that was selected with the first of the 2 7th-round picks by New Orleans. I gave it a B. And if you don't know much about him, well, you're not alone because I didn't know a ton about him either. But Malik Matavau, he does offer special teams ability. He had 506 yards on 41 catches and 2 touchdowns in 2024, averaging 12.3 yards per catch. But in 2023, on 14 catches, he averaged 20.2 yards per catch and 2 touchdowns. Now, I think with this guy, we had I think it's good value in round 7. We had a 6th-round grade on him. He has the size and the traits to develop into a good blocker, but he is going to need some coaching there. Only 1 drop this year, and he's only had 4 career drops. It's just pretty impressive, if you ask me. He seems to have some pretty good burst for a tight end, despite being a little bit bigger. However, the career production is limited, and I do think he's competing to be a low-end tight end on the roster between Jack Stoll, Dallin Holker, Foster Moreau, Taysom Hill, Juwan Johnson. Those are your top 3 guys, but I think the Malik Matavau is going to have some sort of competition to possibly make the roster. Maybe he can make it. Who knows? But Malik Matavau, he was the 7th-round pick, and let's move on to the last selection. I can't believe it. Draft day is over, man. The 2025 draft is here. All that speculation, all the mock drafts, all the discussion, all the talks, and we didn't do any of the stuff I thought we were going to do. Fidel Diggs is a B grade. Look, there's no such thing as a bad pick in the 7th round. There just isn't. So that's why I'm giving both of these players a B. Best as a pure pass rusher. He was used all over the front 7 last season. And then on top of that, he's a 3-time captain. He was at Texas A&M, and then he was at Syracuse. In 2024, 45 tackles, 14 tackles for loss, 7.5 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 1 pass breakup, 42 total pressures. 4 years at Texas A&M before transferring to Syracuse. He has some unique usage. You're getting actual linebacker reps. This year, he had a little bit of spy stuff going on, and then he was used as a blitzer from the middle linebacker position. He's a little bit of a sleeper. Tom Downey thinks so. He had a 4th/5th round grade on him. He's a 2-time team captain, 345 special team snaps. He dropped to coverage a lot for Syracuse, and they even had him playing off-ball linebacker. So to me, it kind of feels like a Jalen Walker, great value, Jalen Walker light kind of thing. He was a 1st-round pick. This guy's a 7th-round pick. There you go. Versatile player. Can do a lot of different things. Really good value in the 7th round. All in all, I'm going to give it a B. Maybe it's a cop-out. Because an A would say it's absolutely amazing. A C, I think is a little unfair. I'm going to go with the B because in my opinion, this is not a draft class that we're going to see this season and be like, oh my God, this was the best draft class ever. Oh my God, this is so great. They crushed it. This is a draft class and this is a rebuilding process that's going to take 2 to 3 years. And so until they have all the pieces and they have their roster constructed the way they want to, there's still things that need to get done. But for now, I think they addressed a lot of positions in need, and I think that they did a good job drafting some good players at some good value spots. So subscribe to Saints Now today. I just got to say thank you so much for all the support we've received since Thursday and throughout the pre-draft process. I mean, we've been live this week 20-plus hours. Unbelievable stuff. Got to give a shout-out to my guy, Loco Lopez, for holding it down in the chair for us. We've been doing live content. We give you daily videos, and it's by fans for fans. So subscribe today. Chat Sports, Saints Now. Y'all stay golden, and we'll see you next time.